Alright, so in this equation, I have x minus 4 to the power of 4 is equal to x to the power of 4. So, my only variable in this equation is x, so that's what I'm going to be solving for. And for my solution to this problem, what I'm first going to do is start by subtracting x to the power of 4 on both sides. So if I do that, I get x minus 4 to the power of 4 minus x to the power of 4 is equal to 0. Now from here, I can rewrite x minus 4 to the power of 4 as x minus 4 to the power of 2 times 2. And I can do the same thing with x to the power of 4, so I get x to the power of 2 times 2. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So x minus 4 to the power of 2 times 2 is going to equal x minus 4 to the power of 2 to the power of 2. And then I have this minus x to the power of 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 0. Now from here, I can use the algebraic property that states that if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, I have x minus 4 squared to the power of 2, and that's going to equal x minus 4 to the power of 2 to the power of 2. Now I have this minus x to the power of 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 0. So a is x minus 4 squared and b is x squared, so I get x minus 4 squared plus x squared times x minus 4 squared minus x squared is equal to 0. And now, from here, I'm going to expand x minus 4 squared, so I get x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus x squared times x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus x squared, which is equal to 0. And now these two cancel out, these two cancel out, and these two add. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared, so I get 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 times negative 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. Now 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 times negative 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. This can be divided into two equations. I have 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0, and negative 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. So 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So now I get x squared minus 4x plus 8 is equal to 0. And now I can use the quadratic formula to solve this, since it's a quadratic equation. So the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in this case, a is 1, b is negative 4, and c is 8. So I get x is equal to negative of negative 4 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 8. And I have this all over 2a, so 2 times 1. And now this is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 32 over 2, which is equal to 4 plus or minus square root of negative 16 over 2. And now the square root of negative 16, that's the same thing as the square root of 16 times the square root of negative 1. And now I have this over 2. And if you guys already didn't know, the imaginary number I, this is equal to the square root of negative 1. So now I have x is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 16i over 2. Now the square root of 16 is simply 4. So I get x is equal to 4 plus or minus 4i over 2, which is equal to 2 plus or minus 2i. And now for my second equation, I have negative 8x plus 16. All I have to do is add 8x on both sides. And I get 8x is equal to 16, meaning x is equal to 2. So I have 3 solutions to this equation. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be solving the equation x squared minus x to the power of 3 is equal to 12. So to start, our only variable is x in this equation. So I want to find the value of x. And for my solution, I'm going to first start by rewriting 12 as 4 plus 8. So I get x squared minus x to the power of 3 is equal to 4 plus 8. And the reason I did that was because 4 is the same thing as 2 squared, and 8 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 3. So notice I have a number squared minus a number to the power of 3, and then I have a number squared plus that same number to the power of 3. Now I'm going to subtract 2 squared on both sides and 2 to the power of 3 on both sides. So these two cancel out, and I get x squared minus x to the power of 3 minus 2 squared minus 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 0. Now I'm going to group all the powers of 3's and the powers of 2's together. So I get x squared minus 2 squared minus x to the power of 3 plus 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 0. So if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So x squared minus 2 squared is going to equal x plus 2 times x minus 2. And now if I have something in the form a to the power of 3 plus b to the power of 3, this is going to equal a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. And these two properties are really important in algebra, so I would recommend memorizing them. So now I get x plus 2 times x minus 2 minus x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now notice how both of these terms have x plus 2 in them. So if I factor out x plus 2, I get x plus 2 times x minus 2 minus x squared minus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. And this turns into x plus 2 times x minus 2 minus x squared plus 2x minus 4 is equal to 0, which equals to x plus 2 times negative x squared plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0, which turns into x squared minus 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. Sorry, it's not. This is still negative x squared plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Now from here, this gives me two equations. X plus 2 is equal to 0, and negative x squared plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. So for x plus 2 equals 0, I can subtract 2 on both sides, and I get x is equal to negative 2. Now for negative x squared plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0, now I can divide both sides by negative 1. So I get x squared minus 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. So now to solve this quadratic equation, I can use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 4 times 1 times 6 all over 2a, so 2 times 1, which is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 24 over 2, which is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 15 over 2, which is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 15 I over 2. So these are two other solutions to my equation.